We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we have James Gregait on the line, the 2011 Rookie of the Year at the Grundy County Speedway. Well, our next driver was a rookie this year, 2011, at the Grundy County Speedway. Kind of an unknown driver. Kind of came out of nowhere and surprised a bunch of people and won Rookie of the Year. Had him on hold for a while. I want to apologize for that. I want to welcome to the show James Gregait. James, thanks for being here tonight.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys. I greatly appreciate it.
Now, James, like I said, a year ago at this time, not too many people at the Grundy County Speedway, with the exception of maybe your pit crew and family and friends, hadn't heard who you were. So let everybody listen and kind of know who you are and how you got involved with the Kimber Racing team to be running the late model.
Well, actually, to go through and talk about how we started goes back quite a ways, back to when I was like third grade, fourth grade. We actually went out to Grundy County Speedway, and we were watching the late models go around, and we'd heard that the number 2 car of Doug Kimber was from Batavia, Illinois, and that was actually the town right next to ours in Geneva. So we went through, and after the races, went down and talked to Doug and saw that there was only 2 guys in the pits, working with him, and my dad, who had worked on race cars since he was, his 18, 19-year-old back at Raceway Park, he volunteered, and kind of through the years I started picking up wrenches and helping, wipe down cars and all that stuff, and really went from sweeping the shop to finally sliding in the seat last year.
Now, is it true you had no experience at all? I mean, no stock car racing experience at all before you hopped in the late model last year?
That is very true. I did the online simulated racing, which I feel helped a lot as far as the visual side of it. But realistically, as far as being in a car, any way, shape, or form, no, this last year was it.
Now, was there any thought, obviously you grew up helping, a driver, and you were at Grundy County Speedway as a child and helping in the garage with your dad, so it kind of seems like maybe you were destined to do something like this. Was there any thought, hey, maybe we'll get a pure stock or maybe a street stock or a mid-am, or was the late model deal kind of a surprise to you and the whole team?
Well, I mean, the thought definitely crossed my mind, especially as I started hitting that 16, 17-year-old, age of, man, it'd be great to go get a street stock, because at that point, pure stocks hadn't really been available. So, get a street stock, start doing something along those lines. But realistically, the financial side of it, everything comes down to money, and we really didn't have the space or money to do it on our own. And plus, I also wanted to go through, and the money that I would have been able to use on a street stock, we were probably going to be going through and saving up towards college and whatnot for that side of it. So realistically, going through the years, we really did have a lot of fun working on the car, building from that level. And I was just at the right place at the right time, worked with Doug for so many years where people think that we're actually related, which we're not. But, we have that friendship, that chemistry from that side of it, to where when he was kind of stepping back and looking at it like, well, I really enjoy working on the cars. I really enjoy the mechanical side of everything, but would like to potentially step back. He offered the seat up to me, and I can't tell you how fast I jumped at it.
Now, how did that conversation go? I mean, did he call you on the phone? Did he have kind of a team meeting? Did he just kind of throw it to you out of the blue?
Actually, we were at the garage after working on the car one night, and he kind of just brought it up saying, how would you feel about, possibly driving next year? And my jaw kind of dropped, and I was like, you really don't need me to answer this question. You already pretty much know the answer from that side of it. But then I come through and I find out they actually asked my parents before that, and my dad's answer was, well, you need to ask his wife, because I was just recently married. And, the funny thing is then Doug goes through and asks me, well, what would you think about it? I was like, oh, I'd love to do it. He's like, well, what would Nicole think about it? And I'm not kidding. The first thing I said right before we got married, before I asked her to marry me actually, was at some point I will be in a race car or owning a race car. You have to be okay with this. And she said, okay. And then about a couple minutes later, I asked her to marry me. So regardless, she was bound to kind of have to put up with me from that side of it. So it all worked out really, really well.
So you tricked her.
Without a doubt. As soon as I dropped down to one, I don't think she was expecting that part of it either. So it was one of those things that she's been my biggest supporter. Without a doubt, she's been amazing. So Nicole, thank you very much.
So you go through all winter. You guys are getting the car ready. You bring the car out there maybe for a practice day or for opening day. What's going through your mind the first time you hop in that seat? you fire the motor, you're getting ready to pull on the track at Grundy County Speedway for the first time?
I think, well, I read the book, A Lifetime of Going Around in Circles by Darrell Waltrip, and he said when he went up to Daytona, he spent about 3 laps on the apron just trying to figure out how to get up on the track. And that was kind of what went through my mind a little bit as we were going through, because we had so many rainouts for the first practice sessions that they kept adding another one, keep adding another one, keep adding another one. And we, of everybody, needed as much practice as possible. So we finally got on the track on a Sunday morning, I believe it was, and next thing you know, we're starting to work out there on the track, and over the radio, hold low, here comes Billy Nippenberg. And there goes Billy Nippenberg. You start working up to speed, and then literally it seems like 2 seconds later, here comes Billy Nippenberg again. Here comes Billy Nippenberg again. And it's just like we were just trying to basically get a rhythm enough to be able to get up on the track and get some laps in. And that was actually one of the funniest things overall was by the end of the year, the fact that we were able to keep up with Billy Nippenberg a little bit kind of showed how much the team and how much I had come. And that was a huge accomplishment to be able to race with him a little bit, because that first practice just sticks in my mind of literally getting lapped seemed like 2-3 laps, it seemed like. So that first day was definitely, I wouldn't necessarily nerve-wracking, but, it was definitely on the edge.
So opening day comes, you're a rookie driver, never been in a car, you're with kind of not a new team, but I mean new, for you never drove with them. Doug's kind of out of the seat, and now he's kind of wrenching on the car. What were your goals, for the season? I mean, realistically, what were you guys, looking to accomplish going into the year, or what would you have been happy with going into the 2011 season?
Well, first and foremost, our biggest goal was to earn the respect of the drivers around us. If you can earn the respect of those guys, nothing else really matters. You can go through, that way they know they feel comfortable racing with you, they've got confidence in you, they race you clean as well as you race them clean. And so earning that respect, which this year I think we made a huge stride in that side of it. We still have more work to do for next year, but first and foremost, just earning the respect of your competitors was our biggest goal. And the second one actually was Rookie of the Year, simply because everybody else out there in that division that's considered a rookie, should be at roughly the same skill level as we are. Maybe they've driven street stocks or mid-AMs before, so maybe they have a leg up on us a little bit. But the fact that Doug's run, the late models for years and knows what he's doing as far as tweaking on the car and whatnot, that made me feel more comfortable with the fact that what I may not know as a driver, he might make up for on the chassis side and everything on that, to where we can kind of go through and see what works out, and ended up working out to where we got Rookie of the Year. And we're just looking forward to next season as far as that's concerned.
Well, I got to tell you, you really, surprised a lot of people. You kind of hung around in the top 10 basically from the start of the season. Me myself, a long time, veteran in the area of knowing everybody, wasn't familiar with your name, and I want to say maybe 4 or 5 weeks into the season, I'm up in the stands. This was before I got the announcer job, so I'm sitting in the stands with my friends, and we're kind of looking at the point standing sheet, and somebody said something about, look at the Rookie of the Year battle. It's going to be a good one because this guy's 17th, and this guy's 18th, and this guy's 19th, and then somebody goes, no, you guys, you missed it. This guy up here in the 7 car, he's like 7th in points, and he's a rookie. And we were all kind of like, oh, yeah, forgot about this guy. I mean, you kind of came in under the radar. You kind of stayed under the radar all year. You just kind of, you ran your race, and like you said, you gained the respect of people. You always kind of seemed to be around at the finish of races. You kind of stuck around in the top 10. You had to be pleased with the way your whole season went.
Oh, without a doubt. And that's actually a credit to the crew, because there's a couple nights that we got torn up. One was a Twin 25 night. We got torn up in the first race. And we actually went out and ran the second race as a complete modified. The entire right side of the car was missing. And they got the car put back together where we could run it, strong enough to finish a top 10, which that night was no small feat with 24 whatever cars that were in the field. So we went through, we got that part of it squared away. We had an engine that let go on us in the 94-lap feature that we turned around the next week. We were able to get another motor in there and get it changed up, ready to go. I mean, there was multiple times where people came through and were like, man, what are you doing back? We would have thought you guys have been gone for 2-3 weeks, or the new car, you guys got a new car? It's like, no, it's the exact same one. These guys just worked their butts off and got it fixed to where we were able to come back and, be competitive. So, basically going through everything, it was a great year. I was personally fortunate, again, like I said, to have basically a small army as a crew each week, because they're all over the place. They know what they're doing, and everybody has like a set job. And when something happens, they just all spring into action and get us back on the track.
Like you said, you must have a pretty big and dedicated crew. I remember the Twin 25s, and I remember that first wreck you had was nasty. And I remember we were setting the lineups up in the tower for the second race, and I want to say everybody up there said no, the 7, they scratched. There's no way they're gonna get that car fixed. And then here you come out, half the body off the car, and we were even thinking, he's going to do a lap and pull off, just to kind of get started. You hung out there and you ran a good race, so like I said, impressive by the crew. Now, taking the whole year into perspective, let's pick one moment that really stands out. I mean, pick a moment that's like a eureka, kind of like, wow, I'm a late model driver and I kind of know what I'm doing and I can kind of stick with these guys. I mean, was there one moment that kind of just stuck out for you the whole year?
Well, the one that really sticks out a lot is when we were in the early part of the season, a little bit before July, so it was mid-June, late June. We were actually running in 5th place, and at the very end of the race, Gary Raven got up underneath us, and we fought back with him on 2 laps on the outside, and we actually nosed him out at the line to finish 5th in the feature. And to have him come over, a guy who's been around Grumdy, around Raceway Park, basically around the area, for so long, to come over and say, that's some of the most fun I've ever had racing. Again, going back to the whole respect part of it, neither one of us ever touched fenders. It was clean. That was a huge highlight for me personally, because then it's like, okay, if somebody like, Gary, who has been around so much, comes over and says that to a complete nobody at that point, it's like that was really, really cool. That, and like I said, the rebound from a team aspect of that second Twin 25, the 4th of July weekend, those are the 2 highlights I think that ultimately kind of set the tone for the team for the entire year. And hopefully we can carry that over for next year.
Now, top 10 in points, Rookie of the Year, you mentioned next year. Well, what's in plans for next year? Do you plan on coming back to Grundy County Speedway and trying to improve your position for next year?
We will be back at Grundy full-time next season. We haven't really talked about anything else as far as running additional races or anything, either at Iliana or anywhere else, but we will be back at Grundy for sure. We did upgrade our entire racing package. We went from the 1994 Howe that we've run for so many years, and that's now our backup car, and Doug actually went off and got us a new 2008 left-hander to race for next season. So, the chassis package has been upgraded, the body, everything. Our classic 1996 Dodge Avenger package for body will no longer be around. It'll be either a new Monte Carlo, new Dodge Charger, or something. So everything's getting upgraded for this season, and I can't wait. We're going to be at least, if we don't finish in around the 7th or better, now that we've got our original benchmark, we've got to go through and hopefully perform to where we're starting to race a little bit more around Billy Nippenberg, Ricky Baker, John Nutley. If we can get up into those guys, those groups, and hang around the top 5 versus being a constant top 10, being in the constant top 5, sooner or later we'll pop off a couple feature wins, and then we'll be ready to go.
Now, a question I like to ask all the drivers, especially if I don't know them, this is just something that I'm always curious about. Doug Kimber, number 2 for as long as I can remember, where did the number 7 come from for you? Does it have any special meaning or just, a number you liked, or where did that come from?
Well, now that the Cincinnati Bengals just lost last weekend in the playoffs, but I was actually a Boomer Esiason fan growing up. I played football for a lot of years, and basically Pee Wee football, I got my number 7, and because of Boomer, and I played with the number 7 all the way through high school into college football, all as the number 7, and then it kind of was just a fitting thing that when Doug said, you're in the car, but we need to recreate your identity. I don't want it to necessarily be the red and white number 2 or anything along those lines, because that was him. He wanted everyone to think of me as a new person, new identity, whether they raced him clean or they had any issues with him, whatever it ended up being, he wanted a clean slate. So from that side, that's where we kind of went with a, opposite two-tone color paint scheme. We went to number 7 because it was just completely different than, at that point, no one else had run it down there in a long time. And, it was my number, and that's kind of, it's always been my number. It's always been a kind of a good luck charm, and this year it kind of worked out that way as well.
Cool. Well, from the sound of it, you got a great car owner, you got a great crew that's there with you, every week at the racetrack. You get the glory of driving the car, but like you said, it's guys like that keep the car on the track during the week at the garage and everything else, like that. So let me give you a minute here to kind of thank the people, that you need to, thank crew-wise. Who are the people that, like I said, work on the car all winter long, every week, to, getting it ready and help you at the racetrack on a weekly basis?
Well, the entire crew, like I said, there's an awful lot of them to go through and name each and every one of them, but those guys, the crew, you guys are awesome. I can't, every Tuesday nights when we work on the cars, I can't wait for it. Every single week, it's a highlight of the week. Hopefully they're ready to work if they're listening to the broadcast because, we got a lot to do. We got 2 cars to get ready. So looking forward to that for tomorrow. Really do have to thank, obviously, my wife again for all her support, my parents, as well as I got to go through and thank a lot of the financial side of it. We just actually got a brand-new sponsor. This is a great time, I guess, to announce that. Baby Back Blues Barbecue. They're based out of Plainfield, right off of Route 30 and 55. Baby Back Blues just came on board, so anytime you're coming back through, want some good barbecue, swing in there, grab some lunch, dinner, catering, all that stuff. They're awesome. So also need to thank Anderson Plumbing and Heating. They, again, backed an unproven rookie last year, so that was awesome for them to come on board, and they're actually coming back next year. So we're looking forward to having them on board, so thank you to them. This one's actually pretty big. Halls on Post Accounting and Tax Services. Angela Hall and Halls on Post actually heard we were going to be on the show, and for all the Grundy County Speedway fans, all the race fans in general, that if you heard it from this broadcast, all you have to do is mention that you heard it from Short Track News, James Gregait, Grundy County Speedway, any of those 3, and she'll give you 50% off of your taxes for the upcoming year. So April's coming up. When you get those W-2s, look at Angela Hall and Halls on Post. McGrath DVD Solutions, actually, they just signed on board, again, after our great year we had this year. They signed on to try and do our highlight film and everything like that for next year, and absolutely a great group for them. The Green Revolution Cleaning Services, Tara Gregait does a lot of the all green, environmentally friendly cleanings. So Green Revolution, and then obviously our website is built by True Gravity Art Designs. Sean Bickle does great work on our website, and we can't thank him enough either.
And that website name is?
The website is jamesgregaitracing.com, and you can also follow us. We got a Facebook page that my brother has actually set up, and my sister-in-law. It's the official James Gregait Fan Club, and just follow that on. Click the like button. You can get all the updates that they put up throughout the week, all the videos, everything from that. And we also have a Twitter page that was just set up, and that's just James Gregait. So just follow us on that, and you can go through and get all the great updates, or you can just go on the website. And if nothing else, after the races are over, just come on, stop by the pits. We love talking to everybody and hanging out. So swing by after every race at Grundy.
Well, let me tell you, I know there was numerous times where you guys would send notes up to the announcer's booth and make sure the kids and everybody came down and visited with you, and just impressed all the way around. I've been in the racing game for a long time, and to see a true rookie hop in a late model, very competitive late model division at Grundy County Speedway, have the year that you had, very impressive. I got a chance to not really talk to you, but to see you talk at the banquet, and very impressed with you there as well. I mean, very well spoken, and like I said, you handled this radio interview like a champ too. So, like I said, very very impressed with you. I wish you nothing but luck for the upcoming season, and I want to thank you for being on the show tonight.
Thank you very much. It was great to be here.
Cool. We'll see you in 2012. That was James Gregait, 2011 Grundy County Speedway Rookie of the Year. Got to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for tonight. Want to thank Josh Nelms for being on tonight's show, and James Gregait. Definitely, if you get a chance, check out his website or his Facebook page. Pretty good deal to get 50% off of your taxes if you just mention him or the Grundy County Speedway, or that he was on Short Track News Radio. So, like I said, if you get a chance, check out his website as well as Josh Nelms, and like I said, good deal there. So, want to thank everybody for tuning in. We're doing this every Monday night, 8 p.m. live. So tell your friends, check us out on Facebook, check us out on the Internet, and